Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Thank you. I now request Dr. Bundi Dorothy to lead us in a prayer.
Let us bow our heads, and those with capes. Men, we want to honor God. You remove your cape, we pray. God, we want to thank you, bless you, and honor you. Thank you because of this morning that you've gathered us together as Meru University fraternity and all the exhibitors from other universities and from other TVET colleges, even to continue with our Innovation Week. We want to welcome your presence. May your Holy Spirit guide us through. As even we do our third day, we pray that the entire activities of the day are going to be guided by you. May you lead us, may you guide us, may you protect us. May you inspire us, oh God, even to be able to innovate. We pray that Jehovah God, even our innovators, as they continue with their innovations, may you give them favor. We pray that you may also be able to link them even with the industries for commercialization, and even to be able to move the product of innovation to the next level. As a university, we pray that you're going to guide us. Thank you because of our management. Thank you because of our council, our senate. Thank you because of our teaching and even non-teaching staff. Thank you because of our students and all the stakeholders of this university. We pray that you may continue blessing us. We thank you, Jehovah God, as we continue, and we welcome you this morning that you're going to guide us and that you're going to lead us in everything we do. And we dedicate the entire program of the day before you, that you may guide us and that you may bless us. Bless us, O God, and continue doing as well. And it is in Jesus' name do we pray and believe. Amen.
Now it's my humble pleasure to invite our Registrar ASA, Dr. Karanja Stephen. Karibu sana daktari.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Our guests today, the management, especially from the Directorate of Lice, read here by the director. The staff who are here, our dear student, good morning. Good morning. I think if there are moments that as a university we are truly proud of, is moments where we bring scholars together, we bring innovators together, we bring people who can offer solution to the community together and share ideas of how we can deal with the many challenges that affect the society. And that is why as a university, we normally put aside 3 days every year to hold this particular event. This is our 4th edition of the Mast Innovation and Exhibition Week, our 4th one. And truly, in accordance to our vision, we are now heading to the global market. We are already there. Because you can actually see the kind of exhibitions, the kind of products our students and students from other universities are exhibiting. I just walked around and I saw very, very good innovations, very good projects, very good ideas being displayed by our students. And therefore, I thank the management once again for arranging this event. Today is our third day, and incidentally, our final day. And we are going to have a number of events rolled out. And that is why our student, I really would wish that you take this particular moment and reason very carefully. Because we all know where the world is heading to. We all know. The world is looking for that person with an idea. And that idea can lead to some form of innovation, an idea that can lead to a certain solution to a problem. In fact, today, we are looking for problems to solve. So as you sit to pursue your degree programs, very good. As you sit to pursue your diploma programs, very good. But much, much more, think of how you can use your intelligence, how you can use the knowledge that you are gaining to change the world. And these gentlemen that are here, you'll hear them giving you how this is done. So without much delay, I'm very sure the students who are here, the management, we shall ensure that you are well catered for. So don't be in a hurry. I'm very sure Dr. Chege, you'll arrange them, they get their lunch and any other meal that is there, so that we can actually be here patiently and we are able to benefit from the personnels and the panel that we have for you today. So with that, I, on behalf of management, would like to open today's session so that we can go as per our program. Thank you very much. May God bless you as you reason and participate on Matthew, the 4th edition. Asante sana. God bless you.
A round of applause to Daktari. Now it's also my humble pleasure to welcome Dr. Chege Hamos to continue with the other part of the programming. Karibu Daktari.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Are you happy? Now, we are on our third day of the Innovation Week, and this morning I'm so pleased to bring to you a team of experts who have drawn from different partner institutions. The innovation and entrepreneurship docket of our university focuses mostly on ensuring that whatever you create is able to reach the market. Whatever innovation you have, you're guided through to be able to come up with a product that can be able to bring solutions to the society. Now, today, as the coordinator of innovations and entrepreneurship, I'm so glad that through our Directorate of Research, we've managed to bring together a team of institutional working groups. Institutional working group is a team of members that were trained by the Kenya Innovation Agency in the first cohort, where we are looking at research to commercialization. We've always focused on creating research output. At the end of your project, at the end of your 4 years or 3 years or 2 years, depending on the level of your education, you do your project as a research, whether it's PhD, master's, undergraduate, diploma. But now, the Kenya Innovation Agency gladly put us together to look at pathways that we can unclog the challenge that has been existing over time, where our projects, our theses are gathering dust in our libraries. And we need to see how can this work reach to the market? How can you create a startup out of your project? How can you create a solution out of your project? And this now is the backdrop to what we are discussing today in our panel discussion. We are going to discuss about building system, that is challenges and opportunities in implementing the commercialization master plan. The output of the training that we went through as the institutional working groups was a master plan for every of the universities that are represented here today. And I'm so glad to host a team of 5 professors and doctors that are leading the research trajectory in our diverse universities that are going to share with us the output from this master plan. And it will be a very good opportunity for all of us to be able to see where are we going as universities and what is expected of us as universities. So in the panel, I'm joined by Dr. Kennedy Ongaro, the Director, IP and Development Studies from Daystar University. Please put your hands together as he comes to the dais. So Dr. Kennedy Ongaro is from Daystar University. Besides being the Intellectual Property Director, he also manages development studies at Daystar University. Thank you so much for showing up. From Egerton University, we have Dr. John Nduko. Dr. John Nduko is also an IWG member and the Dean School of Agriculture from Egerton University. A hand of applause for him. We are also joined by Professor Maina Wagasha. Professor Maina Wagasha is from the University of Nairobi. He's the Director, Innovations and Intellectual Property Management. A hand clap for Professor. We are also joined by Professor Jonathan Mutua from Rongo University. Professor is the Director, Innovations, is the Dean, School of Arts and Social Studies, and is also one of our IWGs. A hand clap for Professor. And finally, our very own Professor Amos Omamo, the Director, Research, Innovation, Commercialization and Extension from Meru University of Science and Technology. A hand clap for Professor. And my name is Dr. Amos Chege. I'm the Coordinator, Innovations and Entrepreneurship at the university. And I'm going to take a moment to interrogate these professors and doctors who are leading the research conversation in our universities, to give us a glimpse of what commercialization of innovations is all about, to give us a glimpse of what happens in the institutions and what is the dream nationally of our research output and our innovation outputs in our universities. So I'm going to start with Professor Maina Wagasha from University of Nairobi. And we are looking at our culture and mindsets with regards to research and commercialization. And all of us, especially the faculty, there's this common phrase, publish or perish. Professor, how do we change this culture of publish or perish to one of patent and prosper? And I wish the media team can help the professors to use these microphones. I think some of them are off. We are looking at patenting. And yesterday in the afternoon, we had a very long discussion with the IWGs as well on intellectual property and what is intellectual property, what is copyright, and how do you protect your innovation. So how do we move from publish or perish to patent and prosper? Professor.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Chege, and good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for this opportunity. Now, this has been our culture, publish or perish. I think this is something that we all know, and it's just the way our system is structured. And let me also say, academia, those who are here, we are actually very rigid people. If we know this is the path of doing something, we get stuck to that. But what now we are saying, yes, that has been our culture. We've been doing a lot of research, and we publish, whether it is the academia or our postgraduate students. I think the publishing culture in the Kenyan university systems is very well established. But we are saying time has come to change that culture. And I think this is where Dr. Chege is coming from. How then do we change this culture so that we start, innovating and we start patenting? Now, these are my thoughts. Especially for academia, we need to come up with a reward system, because you must understand where this publish or perish came from. It was actually tied to promotions, that for you to move from one level to the next, you need to have published a number of papers. And therefore, this is a driving force that you need to publish so that you can move from a lecturer to a senior lecturer to an associate professor to a full professor. So we need to change this so that those innovators that we have amongst ourselves are rewarded. Today, a lot of the universities, including the University of Nairobi, when we do your evaluation to move you from level 1 to level 2, there is no reward for innovation. And I am handling a very hard case of one of our lead innovators who has like 12 innovations, but he's still stuck at a senior lecturer position. Look at that. 12 innovations, 3 of which are commercialized, but he cannot move to the level of a professor because we don't have a reward mechanism, how we reward innovation. So we need to reward innovations so that as we evaluate our academia, then there's a reward for your innovation, just the way we reward publications. Now, the other thing, and I'll forgive me, Dr. Chege. Yesterday, I was studying at the reception, where we are receiving our guests. And there were 2 beautiful ladies, they are students, they had some books. And they were asking, what is all this about innovation? Hii kitu ni nini? Meaning that we also need to onboard our students so that they can actually grow with this culture of innovation. Sure. We need to do a lot of sensitization. And when I heard the 2 ladies, I said, Professor Omamo, your work is cut out properly. So we need to do a lot of sensitization, and that also reflects that even our academia, our lecturers, some of them have not been fully onboarded into this space of innovation. Now, in the moment we onboard selected people, what we call leaders, they never leave that space. The moment I got onboarded into the innovation space, every time I'm, putting together a proposal, I'm already thinking about the innovative component from the beginning. Sure. It's not something that you do by chance. It's got to be part of you. Now, lastly, Dr. Chege, as our students and staff innovate, they must see the value of that innovation. Yeah. I mean, they must be able to see some benefits so that it's not just any other thing. And so what I'm saying is, as we set up the commercialization master plans, let us support them. Let us have the infrastructure. Let us have the framework that actually shows our people, the students and staff, that these are the benefits, and the university has got a mechanism to support us. Incubation of startups. That whole pathway to commercialization needs to be there.
Thank you so much, Professor. Please, a clap for Prof. I know these things are sinking, and just to come back to your reward system, and I think I want to pose this question to Professor Mutua from Rongo University. What immediate incentives can we offer researchers to choose commercialization over just academic publications. Prof.
Thank you. Forgive me, my voice is not very good, but we must do this. First correction on my name for the sake of the media is Mulwa.
Mulwa.
Yes. The issue of incentives is actually our systems issue. Do we have the capacity to innovate and do what it takes? The human mind is as broad as it can see. When our students right in high school were joining Form 1, they found something called Science Congress. And by the time you walk out of Form 4, you want to do one thing, participate in Science Congress and go as far as you go. Then we go to university, we find there, the language is research, publish, research, publish. So what are the incentives? First of all, the urge to feel valued by what you are doing. And then now for the university staff, because being valued stretches from students to the staff. For the university staff, if we tie tenureship or promotions to publications, then that will be a direct reward that you can be able to get. But the indirect rewards are immeasurable. Once you innovate, who benefits? I think we were told yesterday in the panel that most of these universities have IP policies, which actually stipulate the benefit cost sharing ratios. So you as the innovator, you will be part of that benefit sharing. So whatever resources or whatever rewards come in terms of commercial value from your innovation, you tend to get it if you innovate. But if you publish, what do? Google Scholar, too many hits. You know, we read you too much. Beyond that, what next? I'll know you exist. But value-wise, there's nothing much we can be able. Sure. So the reward systems could be both direct and indirect. The indirect ones are actually more important and more concrete than actually what we tell you. We can tell you we'll promote you, we'll do everything else. I mean, if I innovate and commercialize an innovation worth 1 billion, why do I need that promotion to be chasing? As you may be aware, right now in universities, we are almost all on strike. What are we asking for? 20, 30,000? If I make 1 billion, even if the benefit sharing formula is 40%, that's 400 million over and above the rewards. But our problem is more systematic. We have not really entrenched in our system the culture of innovation. I think I checked out yesterday here. We had more high school students, giving an attempt, however crude it looked. But a university with a population of 10, 15 high schools, we could not count that number. What's wrong? Because that's not our systems, not what our systems are set to achieve.
Thank you so much, Professor Mulo, and apologies for the error in your name. Professor Mulo is from the social sciences perspective, and I really like the trajectory that is coming from and how he's discussing, values, the non-tangible benefits. And I think this is what is missing, because we always tell students, do a project, pass, you defend, and all that, then it ends there. We are like reproducing what we've always become. But now this is a movement that is coming now to change that conversation. And I want to go now to one of our private universities, Dr. Ongaro from Daystar. Now, from your private university perspective, I know your university has a very strong ties with the industry. And how can we lead the entrepreneurial culture? How can we create the entrepreneurial culture, especially maybe talking from the perspective of private institution to us in the public, and what you do at Daystar?
Very good morning to each and every one of you.
Morning.
Let me start by asking this question. Did Jesus resurrect? Thomas said, no, he did not resurrect. Thomas said, I would like to have the following. Number one, I would like to see the marks where the nails pierced through when he was being crucified. That's where we start, because you cannot talk about entrepreneurship if you have no marks, if you have no indicators. Very important. You can be teaching theory, the students graduate, and then you talk about issues of employability. I thank God that one day my dad told me, you are a young boy now, nataka kupeleka safari. I want to take you far away from here because you are eating your mother's food and you are not listening to what I'm telling you. So I asked him, Dad, where are you taking me? He told me now, from next year, Form 1, I want you to go to India. Then I asked him, I'm too young. I have not even grown the beard. He told me, you will learn to know and do things when you are away. So he took me to India at that particular young age. Now, if you looked at there is that guy who is appearing on the newspaper, and I was there on the 4th of this month, and I think I'd shared this with Omamo and my friend from the University of Nairobi. The latest one on Saturday was about a man who turns the city home into thriving cane farm. I do grow sugarcane farm in Nairobi. That is the area of Ngara. So the fellow said, this guy is a madman. How can he grow sugarcane? Entrepreneurship must be exhibited and demonstrated so that people can be able to see. What are you talking about? You teach students here, you prepare a very good PowerPoint here, you demonstrate to the students. It is theoretical. How do we make it practical? Now, when Professor Hiro, who was rejected at Moi University, and remember, he became the cornerstone of Daystar University. Just go to Daystar, and then he identified me because of my training in India, and he made me to be in charge of the poetry farm. Every day, as we sit here today, I have delivered 100 pieces of chicken to the cafeteria. I produce the chicken in the university and deliver them to the cafeteria. It is entrepreneurship. How many eggs are collected on a daily basis? You cannot talk about entrepreneurship as a university, as an institution, if you are not demonstrating through examples. So it is very pertinent that each and every one of us, if we are going to talk about entrepreneurship, commercialization in each and every sector, we must plant the indicators of that particular stories of success, successful stories. It is, you have seen these particular projects, you know Wambugu, who is really a very leading entrepreneur in issues of this nature, apple farming. Where is the government? Do we have the Ministry of Agriculture? Yes. Where do people go? They go to a private person other than government institutions. So if we are going to be successful in terms of entrepreneurship, we must exhibit, we must demonstrate, and of course, we must be able to see that these particular young entrepreneurs who are being really mentored in the university, we have centers, we have institutions where they can be able to demonstrate and exhibit their prowess within the university. That is where it starts. You have seen now, and I think many institutions, even the University of Nairobi, Manu Chandaria. Manu Chandaria has taken it too personal, that is building centers of innovation so that the young minds can be able to carry it up and carry his legacy. So therefore, what I'm trying to say, from within the institutions, private institutions, we have taken it up. It's not only classwork, theoretical, but we are having centers of demonstration to ensure that we can be able to take it to the next level. If you also check on the news that has been propagated by different media houses, I created another innovation in the same area, where if you search lecturers finds wealth in sugarcane farming. Now, let me give you, as I conclude, a very good statistics. I want my dear fellow listeners here, have a pen and paper. This one you must work together. Use even your phone. Use your phone. This one it will stick and be in your mind for the days to come. I am going to teach you on issues of practical entrepreneurship. Go to Meru, but let me say I come from Kisii. Now, 6,000 pieces. 6,000 pieces. How much does a sugarcane cost in the rural area? It's 20 shillings. And even in January, when kids are going to school, it will cost 10 shillings. Because wasasi wako katika eka. Now, it is 20 shillings times 6,000. In a truck, inabeba 6,000. So if it is 6,000 times 20, that is 120,000. Are we together? Yes. Now, if you move from Kisii to Nairobi, they will charge you 40,000. So having this particular 6,000 pieces times 20 plus 40,000 By the time you reach Nairobi, you have spent 150,000. Tuko pamoja?
Yes.
Now, let us go to entrepreneurship now. It is 6,000 pieces. Are we together? Times 4, times 500. I would like somebody to ask a question. What is 4? One sugar cane, if you squeeze it, it will give you four glasses. Times 100 shillings per each and every 250 ml. How much money? I want a quick statistician. 6,000 times 4 times 100. My people perish because of lack of knowledge. The book of Hosea 4:6. How much money have you gotten?
12 million.
2.4 million shillings. How much money did the farmer get? It is 6,000 times 20 is 120,000. The entrepreneur mind is here. You have given 2.4. See how rich you can become. You can sell once and you go to Reuter in Italy and come back after 1 year with 2 million. That is what we are trying to say. Sure. How do you really commercialize? How do you make farmers to become really the game changer in terms of entrepreneurship? So what I'm saying, institutions of higher learning like Meru University must link and train the farmers on value addition, entrepreneurship. Now, let me give you the last part of it. Now, in this particular mind, if you are going to have these successes, you can have people telling you in Asar, that is arid and semi-arid lands, we cannot be able to have sufficient rains, ample rains, to sustain the crop. Now, the mind I got from, you look at the miwa, the sugarcane on the newspaper on Fort, what I did, I plant once, you don't irrigate. You dig 4 feet down the ground. So when the rains come, the water percolates, it stagnates in the trenches. That one is sufficient to have the output. Iyo miwa ukiona is 20 feet sugarcane in arid and semi-arid lands. That is the mindset, that is the entrepreneurship. We must move together, we must open up the minds so that the youths of today can move away from drug abuse because of lack of employment opportunities. So we have the capacity, we have the ability to train the youths on these areas. Let us move away from theoretical practices to practical aspects. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Ongaro. Can clap for him. You've really simplified entrepreneurship to anyone who would like to do it. And I'm really happy to hear that Daystar is producing 100 broilers per day. You never told us about the eggs. I think the eggs must be made per day.
The eggs are many. We supply to them within the students' family, within the university. We are now at 9,000 students capacity. That's our population. We produce the chicken and the eggs for internal consumption. The sub-process we sell. Now, if you have also to teach this aspect so that we move, that you must be able to have what you call proper planning processes and procedure. So if the daily consumption is 100, as you move towards the really entire consumption of 4,000, 5,000, you must also plan that by the next 3 weeks, this chicken should have been consumed by the internal and external market. Yeah. So we have Faranga this week. That is the mindset.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Now, I think I'll go to Professor Omamo. Now, the rest of you are public. He's private, and you can see they are so progressive. Meru, you have a lot of land, Professor. We can have many eggs from here, and sugarcane, maybe. Now, with regards to processes and systems, what is the single biggest bureaucratic hurdle in taking an idea from the lab to the market, and how does the master plan fix it? Because I think we also came up with a master plan. There are a lot of hurdles. What do you have to say in your experience at MAST?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning.
Morning.
So thank you very much, Dr. Chege. A phrase that we have been told not to use all the time is Meru has a lot of land. Those are the don'ts, because somebody else will ask you the next question, what are you doing with the land? Yeah. And you look stupid. So I hope I'm going to debunk that. Yes. And at Meru University, I believe that we started a process we are calling RISE, the RISE agenda. The RISE agenda means that you move from research, you don't only teach, you teach what you have researched, and from it you can get innovations which you need to protect, and the viable ones you can commercialize. And we find ourselves in a very difficult space because in public universities we are non-profit. So again, once you do it for profit, the government comes and takes them as state corporations. So the E means extension, how we deal with our community and engage. So we tried to be very smart at Meru University, and we came up with a concept called enterprising the schools. Enterprising the schools. Meaning that from what my colleagues have said and Dr. Ongaro, is that we don't need to have a barrier between the two universities as you know them. In every university there are two universities, the academia and the administration and planning. So you will find that there are always barriers, and I will give you an example. That we have the university farm, and we still have the School of Agriculture and Food Sciences. Where do they do their practicals? Their practicals are not supposed to be practical, but you can enterprise and sell for sustainability. So one of the things that I believe are the challenges, like you've said, at the university, could be our PC targets, what we call our PC targets. Why can't they be designed so that they intertwine? So that a lecturer is told that if, for example, we have 3 departments at the SAFs, that is the agriculture, then we have the animal science, then we have the food science. We have cows. Why should the cows be handled by farm, the way you're saying farm? And we have vets on this side. And the students are supposed to learn from the farm. Now you understand where we create barriers. So what we are trying to say is that it should be seamless, where the people who are the actual practitioners, who are the farm managers and all that, become the validators. But the students are given room to do tests on these, and not purely tests, but know that this also can go to the market. And for me, this is what we have been trying at Meru University. I'll give you another example. When we came in, we convinced the Vice Chancellor not to buy his vehicle, but buy an ambulance, an advanced life support ambulance. If you ask me, from the administration side, I was told to give a report about a business plan for that ambulance. And whoever evaluated it said it's not good business. But for me, I was enterprising the School of Nursing, looking at the ambulance as a moving lab for the critical care nurses or paramedics that can be trained. But while in the same go, you can use it for commercial and give students a practical aspect. So what am I saying? We need to be seamless from end to end. And that answers you, could be why we have not optimally used our over 700 or 600 acres. So we are still in the formidable spaces, we versus them. And that is, you'll find it very common at the university. So I hope this can change, and we can use our land and the resources we have optimally, and doing it practically, just like Dr. Ongaro has said. All the practicals can be done from within, so that as they go out, they're already business people. They can run their businesses. Me and you, we did a study, and I think most of my colleagues, when we were doing our commercialization master plans, we were told to look at the leakages that we have at the university. we found that Meru University is leaking 99%. Where do projects go? Your projects, after you do them for passing, and that's it. Who turns them round to commercially viable products?
Yeah.
So we think that there is a lot that we can do if we implement the master plans the way all of us did and were taught that this is a gold mine. The universities are gold mines where we can just be selling companies. And we can have companies within. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Please, a hand clap for Prof. We have Dr. Nduko from Egerton. This is a very, very experienced university, I suppose, by age and numbers, and I think also by the size of land. And maybe we could learn one or two things from you. And my perspective to you, Dr. Nduko, relates to alumni networks and, of course, new ventures that you have within Egerton universities. And how do you use your alumni networks? How do you use your university ventures and researches that are going on at Egerton? Just give us a perspective of Egerton University and what these other institutions can learn from.
Yeah, thank you, Doc.
It's okay. Hello? You can change, you can swap.
Thank you, Doc, for the question. For those who are not aware, Egerton started way back in 1939 as an agricultural college. And our land is maybe 5-6 times your land because we are, are talking about over 3,000 acres.
Wow.
So how we are leveraging on our alumni network, I think this is a gold mine, which we have been sitting on and not utilizing. Because our alumni network, if you go even to the current government, you will find senior people who have graduated from our university. I think even some of your staff, senior members are our alumni.
Sure, yeah.
So what we are doing is that apart from the normal things like a few scholarships for students, and from the master plan, what we have proposed is to have the endowment fund. And alumni, we are reaching out to them to the extent that in the near future, we see a situation where they will be supporting on aspects like the seed funds so that they can support the prototyping and all the way to commercialization. So in doing so, I think we have done some engagement, we have done some sensitization, and I know as we speak, a few students and a few staff have gotten some support, which is related to innovation and commercialization. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. John. I'll go back to Professor Maina from University of Nairobi. And now we are seated here as public university and private university, and I know there are others who are following us online. Should public and private universities compete or collaborate on commercialization? And just give us maybe one area of partnership that we can partner. Just give us your perspective.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Chege. Allow me to start where Professor Omamo stopped.
Okay.
We must destroy barriers. I mean, these have picked.
Yeah.
Because we have so many barriers. You talked, Professor Omamo, about management versus the rest of the university. And I want to take this further. There are barriers between our institutions. There are barriers between public and private universities. And I think really that question, the question of competition must never come.
Yeah.
My background is microbiology. And one of the things that I teach, is the way microorganisms interact with each other. We have beneficial and non-beneficial interactions. And competition, that one we leave out. It should not be part of the equation. Now, to answer you, our institutions need to collaborate. Public, private, we need to enhance this. But let me say this. How do we do this? Because that is actually now the hard bit. I look at the engagement between our institutions from a very social angle, that you build relationships. And those are relationships where we engage each other on a continuous basis. Now, what am I saying? One area where we need to strengthen our partnership is through joint research. And for you to do joint research, you need to submit joint proposals. Yeah. But how do you bring this team that generates a proposal together? Yeah. You ought to have built a relationship, a long-term relationship. Today, I'm in Meru University of Science and Technology. Let me say this, and this is not my intention. If I invited you, Dr. Chege, next week to University of Nairobi, I invite Professor Omamo to University of Nairobi, we have already built a relationship. Sure. You will feel obliged to come and support us the way we supported you during this week. Sure. So that relationship is important. But number two, we need to open doors for one another. Our institutions are so closed. And those of you who are in the field, in the space of research, we say, if you want to go fast, walk alone. But if you want to go far, walk together. You see the difference, especially for our youngsters, our young men and women. So what I'm saying is, if we want to go far, we need to walk that journey together. We need to open doors for one another. And I can say, yesterday I had some good time, to just listen in, the opening ceremony, visit the exhibitions. And I can tell you, in my notebook, I noted 3 things. And I can tell you, those are lessons that I learned from here. And as the Director of Innovations at the University of Nairobi, I can tell you for sure, I will implement those. So what am I saying? Learning best practices from one another. So we need to strengthen this. Now, the other question you asked Dr. Chege, is that question of industry engagement. If you went, I saw Safaricom was here yesterday. If you went to engage Safaricom on your own, you can get some deals with them. Sure. If you went together with the prof here, you strengthen your team. Yeah. What am I saying? When we go to engage the industry, we are stronger if we are several partners, public, private universities, we are able to negotiate better deals with the industry so that they can support, that process of commercialization. Yeah. As a parting shot, colleagues, we are stronger together.
Thank you so much, Prof. Please give him a clap. He's from the University of Nairobi, and we are so proud to be associated with you. Yes, that partnership, it's really, really what we are looking for, and collaboration, because you can't do it alone, you can't go alone. We need each other as partners. Before I go to my last set of questions, I want to open up to the audience. We take 1 or 2 questions from the audience directed to the panelists before I go to my last set of questions. So if you have a question, maybe you can shoot your hand up. The media team have the microphone. They can pass it around. so that we can interact. Media team, we can go that side. Anyone with a question? I can see faculty members, I can see a lot of students. Anyone with a question? Okay, there's one here. Tom?
Thank you, our panel members. My name is Dr. Dorothy Bundi from the Department of Computer Science in the university at Meru University. I was curious, and I would want this response from Daystar and from University of Nairobi or Egerton, because we are public universities vis-a-vis the private university. We know that in most private universities, there's that's what first response. Once, for example, I've gotten an innovation, it's highly taken up, I'm protected, they will shield me and all that. Vis-a-vis what we see in the public university where bureaucracies are there, some policy has to be established, maybe to take care of my innovation and all that. So I was wondering, what do we do to be able to encourage the young innovators so that I don't feel like when I want to innovate, so that I don't feel if I want to innovate, I don't want to present it to my university. You know, there are those young innovators who come up, and once you've innovated, you feel like if I present it to my university, Meru University, it will take longer even to get to the market because of the bureaucracy. Then I start looking for collaborators, maybe in private universities, where they will value my innovation and take it up and then take it to the market. I don't know, because that is one of the challenges with young innovators, young researchers. Once we research, the bureaucracy may kill the product. And even sometimes you may notice you may take longer, and then the bigger tech companies take up your idea, then you see it out before you even your idea has already been patented. So I don't know what is your take vis-a-vis the plans that you guys went and came up with to be able to protect us, young researchers and young innovators.
Dr. Ongaro?
Thank you so much, Dr. Ari. You cannot plant maize and have bananas. Forget about it. There is what we call GIGO. It is garbage in, garbage out. If you want to really transfer institutions, the processes, as my colleagues have said, the bureaucracies, processes and the procedures, you must have equilibrium ground. We are very lucky, and that one is in the public domain. We as Daystar University, we are so much privileged to have the cornerstone, Professor Hiro, who was rejected at Moi, and he is now the cornerstone of Daystar. Wherever he goes, in fact, if you can be able to follow him online, he has been able to work with the young entrepreneurs. Yeah. Even today, I'm seated here. There is a meeting I was supposed to attend, but now it's ongoing. Every morning, that Mzee wakes up by 6 o'clock, is in the office, working with the young minds. That is really what will make these particular young entrepreneurs to be able to walk the talk and to be able to make some progress, number one. Number two, there is the KPI. Each and every officer seated here must have it to be part and parcel of the key performance indicators. What have you done? What are the timelines? Because if you are going to sit with that particular innovation and you are not able to make a breakthrough, it will be year in, year out. You are mark timing. So therefore, what we have to do is to ensure that the KPI should be able to actualize that particular process so that this particular young mind is able to have that innovation to go to the market. You are being told, oh, the council has not sat. There is a group, there is a group. By the time the council approves it, it has been implemented in South Africa, and therefore you are being told time bad. So can we. And therefore, there is a problem, Daktari.
Yeah.
Do we have what we call Alumni Association of Kenyan Universities? Who is the chair? So that we are able to bring the barriers to an end, say we are all graduates of the Kenyan universities, who is the chair, so that we can be able to hold universities accountable in terms of processes and procedures. That one is not there. So we don't mean well for each other.
Thank you, Dr. Maybe I can direct this to Professor Mulwa. On commercialization, how can our commercialization offices eventually become self-sustaining, based on what we crafted in the master plan?
Okay, thank you. First of all, let me start from the background of the master plan. And I want to connect it with the question of bureaucracies that we had when we were doing this master plan. One of the biggest policies is actually what Professor raised here, policies. In almost everything that you do in a university, the first question will be, do we have a policy? Is it within the mandate of our statutes? And such other things. And to some extent, I think I almost came to conclude that universities can probably never do business. And maybe towards the end I'll tell you why universities can never do business unless we change our mindset. Because one, maybe I can say it now, our strengths are our weaknesses. Today when I go to class, my background is in finance. When I go to class to teach finance, and I think entrepreneurs do these, IT people, whose finance am I teaching? I start telling students about Jensen and Maclean, Farmer and French. Entrepreneurs will be told entrepreneurship is about Schubiter and such other things. What did Schubiter do as far as entrepreneurship is concerned? Just wrote a paper. Did he do any business? Maybe Desta will tell us. No. Today, if Meru University decided to just do an hotel establishment outside, just near the gate, they are somewhere targeting students. Apart from the students' cafeteria, it may not materialize. Why? We have big ideas. And while we look at our entrepreneurship endeavors, is the size of our ideas rather than the size of our impact. Jerry will come across the gate, start a makeshift thing, all the students will flock there. In 4 or 5 years, Jerry will have the largest restaurant. He looked at the size of our impact, not the size of our idea. So, can university commercial departments be self-sustaining? Yes, the answer is yes. But we need a change from what Dr. Budi raised to something else. I think though she was asking about turnaround time in public private universities, I picked a different dimension. Fears and suspicions. If I give it to our university, it will take long, I would have lost it, I would have done this. What we did in our commercialization master plans, and I think this is what all the other universities did, we introduced another policy, or rather hybrid version of policies that we called the entrepreneurship policy. The entrepreneurship policy creates the commercial section and it gives us liberty to operate outside the so many policies and mandates and the like. So what we need now is actually to inform and rather make our staff and students aware that entrepreneurship is about impact of what you are doing, not the size of your idea. Like I had Meru was 6,000 acres. Where I come from, I say the largest university in this side of Africa, apart from University of Morocco in Casablanca, is down here in Kitui. 10,000 acres where they sit. Fortunately, we don't have Seko here. 3,000 acres in Kibwezi, 1.5 acres in Upper Hill. What can you do with 10,000 acres? Of course, they are turning arid to green. The river just trapasses around there, and very many other rivers. But they are still waiting for School of Agriculture to use that land for agricultural purposes. It will not happen. Because agriculture will tell you, write a proposal, you get people to look at it. We come there with professorial mindsets. We are looking for very big ideas. But that farmer just across their land along the river is producing 20 tons of tomatoes on a monthly basis. You are still dealing with the proposals, and you know, how big is it? We can be sustainable. We only need a change of mindset and learn to understand what entrepreneurship is. Entrepreneurship is not the size of your idea, it's the impact of your idea. Today, and I want to use an example of an organization which I know is highly represented here. Safaricom was a department in Telecom Kenya. But when they started the issue of wireless things, Telecom thought, no, this one is not part of what we do. So they released that, grew the department, released it to be a public-private entity by shareholding structure. Where is Telecom Kenya today? Later on they discover that, hey, you don't really, because for Telecom Kenya, we have no market for this. Kenyans are not used to this technology. There is no market for any entrepreneurship venture. You create your own market. Because today, if I want to teach my students practical entrepreneurship, I'll look for large farms. I want to go to Bamburi, you know, Roughage, you know, at river mining, those big things. Why would I take a student of Meru University past Makutano Mwea to teach them about entrepreneurship? Today, as you go around, and I was reading, I think if you get to your phones and just Google, a family builds a business empire from Swampland. You'll see the story of the nice millers. Did they have all the capital on earth? If it was a public institution, the financials of that proposal would be in billion, and today that town would not be what it is, but I'm sure that guy started with less than 100,000, and today his impact is in billion. Yes, we can be sustainable. Let's commercialize the activities that we have in the university. Let's not have fears. I think we have sufficient protection that we can be able to get. But as we try to do it, let's now come down to the reasoning of an entrepreneur. I know computer scientists tell us about the founder of computers who never beyond second year in university. Maybe if we went up to fourth year and graduated, we would never have computers because you'd be thinking like a graduate. That's not what entrepreneurship is.
Thank you, Professor Muller. Please a clap for Professor Muller. I really like the mix of science and social sciences here. Dr. Nduko, I know you told us Egerton began in 1936?
1939.
39.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of sustainability and the measure of success. Maybe you can take a minute or two and share with us the kind of work that happens in Egerton with regards to research, commercialization, and how you've managed to be sustainable all this time.
Yeah, I think I can respond by addressing with what Dr. Bundi said. She talked about the bureaucracy, and when we started formulating the master plans, Kenya did some SWOT analysis and found that bureaucracy is one of our weak points. So that's why we came up with the master plan, which was followed by aligning the policies, the research, intellectual property. So all those, once you have these systems, you have the innovators who will come. Of course, they will be protected by the policies, so that the policy is clear on what the innovator gets and what the university gets. So I think the approach which we are taking is the university to have equities in the startups, such that entrepreneurs or innovators are encouraged to go forward with their ideas. And with those policies, the innovators are now aware they are not hiding the ideas, because we had those suspicions where people fear that their ideas might be stolen. So with those policies, it is clear, the procedures are clear, what you do, and how you are protected, and you know what is at stake. So I think we need to encourage the universities, because there are many operators in the university. Don't go for big share. Have a small but attract more. you can be able now, if the university says the university share is maybe 5% or 10%, and the innovator gets the rest of it, I think more will be encouraged to come. But you don't tell the innovators that you are using staff time. They will not come. Huh?
They will not come.
The students need to be encouraged. The university, you can support them, but tell them my stake is 10%. So in terms of sustainability, let us encourage them. Let us encourage the startups and the spin-offs so that we can be able to generate money. The essence of doing research, innovation, the end product should be wealth. So let the innovators see wealth. Although we are told sometimes don't chase money, create a solution so that the money follows you. But at the end, ultimate product should be wealth.
Thank you, thank you. And I'll pick from where you just said money, our innovation should, what should come first? Money or the innovation? And Prof. Omamo, beyond money, how will we know if these master plans that we build are successful? What are these key metrics that we should look at beyond money?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Chege. I think I just want to follow from what Dr. Nduko has said. It is the perspective. I remember we went to Germany on a trip. We were talking about electronic waste. And we are told waste is gold. And we thought we would go and see models how we can make money. So when we arrived there, the first thing we were told, there is no money in e-waste. And it was like, then what did we come to do? For them, they look at the bigger picture, which is humanity. They look at it as electronic waste is affecting the climate. And therefore, your first call is to protect the climate, and money will follow you as you do that. But for us, what do? We take the laptop, we cherry pick the motherboard, and still destroy the environment. We throw. So I think the perspective is also important. But like you've told me or asked me, the metrics are very clear. One of them, I think, Professor Mulu has just alluded to, is the impact. What is the impact of what you're doing? And Dr. Ongaro also just showed you the impact of what you think is small and how it can be big, value addition. One for me is the impact. The other is what is your value addition chains. And lastly is awareness. Because most of us are not aware. We get into things before we even know what we are getting into. And most of the time you'll find that it is important to know that not every innovation is commercializable. You can have an innovation that does not have commercial impact. And therefore, it is just there, and could be it is just brought to help the common good. And eventually money will follow if it is monetized. And therefore, we need to assess what we do. How do we assess our innovations? This is very important because this is where we get it wrong. The universities and faculty and researchers have practiced what we call the push. We think we are very smart. We come up with an innovation and believe that the industry will receive it with both arms. And yet that is not what they want. The industry wants something else. So what we are trying to do, like we are very lucky, the M-Pesa Foundation is building as another hub. We had another hub from James Mwangi, the Equity CEO who was our chancellor. He built as an innovation and entrepreneurship hub. But I think the concept wasn't very clear for us at the start, but it is getting clearer now. What James wanted is to use that hub as an alternative working space for the industry. Meaning that we would have sorted the pain points from the industry So what we are trying to do now with the other one, our problem statements are not what we think, but the problem statements from the industry. We get an industry with a problem statement, and definitely, Dr. Bundi, you will not waste time if you build that, because you become their startup. They will buy you off immediately because it is something they want. So many a times, to answer even where you're coming from, we come up with things that the university is trying to hook. You know? It's like, where do we get the best fit? And in that process, there are others who will capitalize and use it before you, because getting that person is very difficult. And you might be shocked, just like what we think are safe are not the safest points. Why we have gone the TTO and the TTO officers who are here, your idea is stolen at the drafting stage. So you can draft a very good idea. See, you're taking it to Kipi. What will they do? They search the database to see if your idea is the same as the others. At that point, people will see the idea, and they can just change something out of it. I think you have heard about the case of Nice and Lovely and Dark and Lovely. Yes. So one stole it at the drafting. So the metrics are very clear. Where we are talking of impact, we are talking of assessment, we are talking of awareness. And in all these, we must be fair. What Dr. Nduko has said, universities should model their policies where the researchers and founders do not feel that they are disenfranchised. And lastly, just know that the university should understand, if you do that, you're transferring the liabilities away from you and taking it to the investor. Because if they own 90%, they own all the liabilities. And sometimes these help even in running them, so there are no bureaucracies to stop them or to conflict with the institutions as they were. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Hand clap for Professor. That was very elaborate. And before I take your closing remarks, one thing you can leave to the audience regarding our discussion today. For those who just joined us late, we were looking at how we can build systems around commercialization of innovations. We are looking at challenges and opportunities on how we are implementing the commercialization master plan, because these are a group of institutional working groups, representations from public and private institutions that we went through a training with the Kenya Innovation Agency on how we can move from research to commercialization. And I want to end that session of question and answer with Dr. Ongaro from Daystar University. For a private university, how can excellence in commercialization make it more attractive to students and industry?
First of all, it is biblically written that once you write up the ramp, put it on top of the table.
Yeah.
So that can be actualized by bringing in more partners. You talk about the media to disseminate your innovative ideas to ensure that they can be able to propagate the message to the user and the industry. And we need those particular linkages. Remember again, the institutions of our learning, academic institutions, there is these great minds. Bill Gates is one of them. You can't talk about technology without really mentioning Bill Gates. Who was Bill Gates? Bill Gates was a Form 2 dropout. Where is the world today? He has revolutionized completely the way the world is operating. And therefore the industry, the media, and above all, the universities propagating messages that anybody and everybody can innovate. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A hand clap for Dr. Now, as we come to a close, I can see we really have a lot to discuss, and we can interact with the panelists after this session as we go for tea break. Parting shots. What are your parting shots? We can start from Professor.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chege. My parting shot is I'm just a happy person. And we want to make impact first within MAST as we propagate it to our community and hope that our partnerships will be meaningful. And you have seen as we start with our working groups the way we were, we feel that everybody is important and can contribute towards our growth. So my parting shot is if we can create synergy and echo what my colleagues have said, that as you heard our Vice Chancellor's address, we are moving into the next frontier. At Meru University, now we want to adopt what I saw very successful at Egerton, run by Professor Kahi, like COILIB. Yeah, the COILIB way, where you can see enterprises growing, you can see things moving, and I was shocked, Dr. John, Professor Kahi told me that it's only one person who is being paid salaries at COILIB. The rest are paid by the ventures themselves. They have incubated more than 10 companies. And that is what I foresee at Meru University, where we need now to get into startups and real companies and stop complaining. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor. Hand clap for Professor. Professor Mutua. Mulwa, sorry. Okay. You look like Professor Mutua.
He was my classmate in Masinde.
Oh, he was your classmate? Yeah. Nice. No wonder I'm calling you Mutua.
I think my parting shot will come from this side. From that talk, how many of you think can be innovators by show of hands? Very few. How many of you would want to commercialize their innovations when they become innovators by doing business, by show of hands?
Nice.
And this informs my parting shot. We need to get things right. Not every one of us can be entrepreneurs. Sometimes it's good to stick to your lane. If you are very good at innovating, and you doubt your business acumen, there are too many opportunities. License it and sell it out for loyalties to those people who are busy or who can do it.
Yes.
I know in Meru we have cement without Kliga.
Yes.
I'm sure the university is still toiling about a commercial enterprise. But if you protect and give Ravage the license for loyalties and continue with what you do best, innovating. Number two, it is doable. The problem is the start. I'm sure everybody is scratching his head. Now, what do I innovate? There's a concept we call design thinking. Go to the people, interact with them, understand their problems, provide solutions to them. Innovation is just about making life simple. Just that. Very doable. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Mulwa. Professor Maina, your parting shot.
Colleagues, there's a revolution. And this revolution is centered on innovation. Africa, unfortunately, got left behind when the other revolutions took place. You remember the Green Revolution? We are still dilly-dallying. We cannot afford to be left behind with this new revolution on innovation, because this is innovation to solve real problems. And that takes me to the second parting shot. We need to rethink the way we do our research. You know, I sit in my office, I interact with my supervisor, and I come up with a research proposal. We need to change the approach. We need to engage industry so that our research is actually solving real problems to provide solutions. And this makes it so easy to commercialize whatever innovation come out of this research. Lastly, especially for our students, and what we call the early career researchers. Please protect your innovations. You know, we call it IP, intellectual property. We all come from families. The property within your family, think about land, think about a car, so you protect those properties.
Yes.
Protect your intellectual property, which are innovations. And our offices are there to support you.
Thank you very much, Professor Maina. Hand clap for him. Dr. John Duko, your parting shots.
Yeah, thank you, Doc. Maybe what I have, I can say innovation is out of what you do every day. When I was growing up, I used to see my grandmother, you go collect 3 stamps, then you boil beans for almost half a day before you can eat them. Nowadays, you can soak them overnight, then tomorrow, in less than 1 hour, the beans have been cooked. So don't look for big things. Go out of what we are doing every day and have a solution. And that solution, once you have a solution, we don't call it an innovation, it's a solution. Yeah. Once you have a solution, people will be looking for you. And the other thing is for students, for researchers, don't have, some people call it a poverty mentality, that you have an idea which you don't want to, because you are fearing somebody might steal it. Go out there, protect it, and the main object of innovation is executing it. Remember, you cannot protect an idea until it is fixed. You are told it needs to be fixed. So go out there, execute it, and the money will follow you.
Thank you so much, Professor Nduko. A hand clap for him. Finally, our brother from Daystar, Dr. Ongaro. Your parting shot.
Never be bongolara, sleeping mind. The bongolara is a person who doesn't know what is happening for tomorrow. Sure. Everybody can innovate. Do you remember we were in COVID-19? Do you remember the innovations that came up? Never live a Simon Makonde life. If you remember the Simon Makonde, a life that can never be remembered, a life that was short, a life that was not productive. Everybody and each and every one of us, like Nehemiah says, there are so many broken walls to be built. That is why innovation must be done and be contributed to for the betterment of society in each and every sector. We are all in it. We have the capacity and the ability. We can work together.
Thank you very much. A hand clap for him. So thank you so much, colleagues. We had a team from what we call institutional working group. This is a team of faculty members drawn from our public institutions. We were 14 universities at that time, trained by the Kenya Innovation Agency on research to commercialization, where we came up with work plans for all our 14 universities on how we will realize commercializable products of innovations from these universities. And in the panel, we had Professor Amos Omamo, the Director, Research, Innovation, Commercialization and Extension from Meru University, Professor Jonathan Mulwa from Rongo University, the Dean School of Arts, Social Sciences and Business, Professor Maina Wagasha, the Director, Innovation and Intellectual Property Management from University of Nairobi, Dr. John Duko, Dean of Agriculture from Egerton University, and Dr. Kennedy Ongaro, Daystar University, Director, Intellectual Property and Development Studies. Thank you very much, panelists, for the kind of knowledge you've shared with us. We are so glad that you could join us today. I would welcome you for a group photo, and after that, we will proceed for a health break for 30 minutes, and then we'll be back to listen to one of the pitches from our students here in Meru University called Okoasem. Do you know Okoasem, comrades? Yeah, we want to see who created it and how he created it and how he's planning to make money out of it. Thank you very much. The media team, please, you can do the group photo. And a hand clap for my panel. And for the guests, my name is Dr. Amos Chege. I'm also part of the IWG's Coordinator Innovation at Meru University. Thank you very much. And a slight adjustment on the program. If you check on our program, initially it runs up to evening, but we are ending at 1. We have a closing by one of our council members who is going to do the closing. So we are intending to end by 1. So let's be fast, come back, so that we are able to finish in good time. Thank you very much.